So today I want to go over one of the fundamental questions of all of fitness. How do you do a push-up? So you're going to have all kinds of different paths in fitness. You should do this, Orange Theory, go to the gym, do it yourself at home, do this fancy program. And they're going to ask you to do push-ups. And the thing is, you can go with whichever way you want to go, but the push-up is a prime fundamental movement. And a bench press, a dumbbell bench press, they're actually just the same mechanics with subtleties of what you're harnessing into. So the thing is, you need to know how to do a push-up right. It doesn't matter where you go, you need to know how to do a push-up right. And this is gonna be good for your strength, it's gonna be good for your alignment, we gotta stay healthy. So let's go over today, what is the perfect push-up? So, to start off, there is not a perfect push-up because there's a lot of contrary opinions, but there's definitely a whole bunch of wrong push-ups and most people usually fall in this area. So I'm gonna take you down to what is generally considered a rock steady push-up. So let's start. We're gonna do alignment. So 3 things, alignment, all right? Range of motion and where you are in progression. So let's start with the first thing, alignment. Most people are way off when they push up. Imagine that you right there, you're the floor. So you can see me do a push-up. Most people, and if you want to do this motion with me, it is for your benefit. So please follow me along. Most people will do these weird things with their shoulders. They'll bring them up to their ears. They get all tense and nervous about the push-up. What I want you to do is you have to keep your shoulders right here away from your ears, even when you're on the ground. Your hands will be kind of right beside your chest shoulder. There's variations. Let's start with the staple push-up. From here, these shoulders stay down and you push straight forward. Coming back down, if you notice my elbows go kind of down, okay, kind of back towards my hip. Some people will do like a chaturanga where they're here. You could do that, but we're gonna have one that involves the chest as well. All right, and some elite gymnasts will also do tucked in versions, but let's do this version first. So we're gonna press from right here to right here. Where do most people do this incorrectly? They come up here and their elbows go out because they get nervous, okay? So pull those away, take them down. You're gonna press right here, okay? That's the shoulder girdle. The next area people will get out of alignment is within their spine. Their torso will be either hunched forward or arched so they can cheat in a certain way. And sometimes you might not think that no one notices, but we can see you plainly. So let's go ahead and look at some on the floor. All right, so we got some good floor right here, top-notch floor. All right, so the top ways that people will cheat is that they will go, bring their head first and they'll go, So they're gonna kind of get their head towards it. All right, now progression-wise, we probably should be at our knees if we're gonna be there, but we're gonna talk about that in just a minute. The next area, people do the exact opposite. So they'll kind of arch and they'll be like, I did one because I touched my legs. My hips, I'm kind of exaggerating, they'll kind of roll up. So where do we want to be? It's actually neutral, right in between those two. Totally neutral. You will be a line, a plank. You're gonna go down and you're gonna come up. Keep your torso nice and tight. So we should do planks and hollow holds to build up our core to make sure we can hold that rigidity. Before that, we should just do a knee-based push-up. So the core should be level. The elbows, watch them again, they go down and back slightly. They do not go out, all right? This is good for shoulder health. Once you master this push-up, you can try fancy variations, but make sure that you master this basic one. So shoulders, core is tight. Let's talk about the next one. Range of motion. We kind of went over that. Sometimes people will do kind of a one right here. Obviously, we need to go deeper. Do we need to touch the chest? Not necessarily. If you can do it and it feels smooth in your joints, go for it. Start in lighter progression, so less difficult one, knee-based one off of a wall or a counter, and see if you can get that stretch. In general, you want to try to at least go till you make a 90-degree with your elbow. It's a good healthy range of motion to build from. You can play around, get some kind of shallow, get some deeper, but in general, you want to go down at least to about 90 degrees, pressing up, and you want to make sure that your chest is opening. So let me show you a tip that actually, I see a lot of people struggle. They'll freeze their shoulder. And watch this. I'm gonna do it from the side without being on the ground. They freeze their shoulder in place, and as they descend, they jut their shoulder forward, and they're not really using their chest. My chest is loose right here. So they're using their shoulder to do this. Instead of opening, letting your shoulder blade go back, spreading the chest, and squeezing with the chest. So you're coming back, the chest opens, and now the chest can contract with it. If you want to build your chest muscle, you have to use the chest muscle to press. You can't bypass the chest muscle and put a lot of strain on the frontal shoulder. Let me show you the difference between those two. Here's the kind of extra shoulder one. Kind of putting that shoulder forward, jutting that shoulder forward. And here's one where I open up the chest. Open up the chest. All right. So let's talk about progression. So most of the time, and this is why everything starts from the heart, Lion's Heart Health, most of the time people look at other people's push-ups and they're like, man, I wish I could do a push-up like that, which is envy. You're envying their push-up. So they'll go ahead and try the more difficult version and they're not ready for it. So we have to use humility and go to the push-up level that we're ready for. So let's look at a few different variations. So here's kind of the first, the one I'd begin with. You could do a wall push-up. The head kind of gets in the way. I'm not a fan of wall push-ups. You can do them, get used to them. I recommend starting with about 20. But let's start with a box push-up or a counter push-up. All right, come with me. All right, so this trusty plyo box can be a counter. This could be any piece of geometry in your house that is stable, all right? So find something that's just higher. And from here, don't do your bad form. We just learned that. Keep your core straight, come down evenly, and press up evenly. Evenly is the most key word. As you progress, and we can talk about advanced progressions, but I'd start with sets of 15 to 20. If you can't do those, if you're deviating in your form, I don't recommend continue to progress down. So as they get easier, it's nice and simple. You're just gonna get lower. Find your form, getting 15 to 20, and we just start to go lower. Usually when we get to about here, we're ready for knee push-ups. So knee push-ups, the place I see people struggle with knee push-ups is they start in table and they try to go down from here, but look, my hip isn't touching the ground. You have to set your knees back until you're a plank. I recommend setting up a plank, then setting your knees down, then begin the knee push-up. If you cannot do a full knee-based push-up, I don't recommend doing a regular push-up unless that's part of a specific plane. You're doing the negative of it or something like that. So alignment is key. Find the progression level that you can find good alignment. Number 2, full range of motion. Listen to your body, about 90 degree, all right? And then the last thing is you have to find where your progression level is and take your time. Progress through to a full push-up, and then we can do handstand push-ups and dips and stuff. But start with this fundamental push-up. All right,